Medicare Supplement plans versus Medicare Advantage plans. What's the difference and which plan is the right plan for you? That's the topic on today's episode of Medigap TV. Stay tuned. So people tend to call anything they have to do with their Medicare a Medicare supplement. That's not true. There's two really different ways of going about it. You have a Medicare Supplement plan and Medicare Advantage plans. They are two very different products, and which one is right for you is going to depend on your needs and your budget. So let's start by talking about the Medicare Supplement. As far as coverage goes, when you have a Medicare Supplement plan, it is very comprehensive. After Medicare pays its portion of the medical bill, your Medicare Supplement will pay its portion, leaving you with very little out-of-pocket costs. For people that are new to Medicare now, the Part B deductible is $226 for 2023. So with the most comprehensive Medicare Supplement plan, which is the Plan G, that would be your maximum out-of-pocket for the year. For your hospitalization under that plan, you would have zero out-of-pocket. So the out-of-pocket expense on a Medicare supplement can be very minimal. Now there are 10 Medicare supplement plans, the most popular being the Plan G and the Plan N. Now there's some differences in the coverages for the Plan G and the Plan N. I'll put a link up in the top here somewhere that you can click on if you want to see more details on each of the plans. Or if you'd rather get some pricing and talk in person to me about which plan fits you the best, down in the description below, there's a link to my calendar. You can set up an appointment. You're not going to be called by anyone else. Your appointment is going to be set directly with me. Just click on the link in the description, pick a date and time that works for you, and we'll go over the benefits of each plan, what the out-of-pocket is for each plan, and give you an accurate pricing. The benefits of a Medicare supplement plan are mandated or standardized. So the coverage would be the same for whatever company you are with for the exact same plan. For instance, a Plan G is a Plan G. A Plan N is a Plan N. It doesn't matter if you're with United Health, Mutual of Omaha, Humana, Aetna, what have you. The benefits for a Medicare supplement plan are identical across the carriers. There are a couple that will offer something small like a silver sneakers, or a couple of them have their own gym discount type plans. Now that the coverage is the same, but there are differences in pricing, service, rate increase history, and so on. For a Medicare supplement plan or Medigap plan, Medigap, Medicare supplement mean exactly the same thing. The cost for the monthly premium is going to be your Part B premium, which for most people in 2023 is $164, and your monthly premium of your plan. No matter what you do, Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage plan, you are still going to pay that Part B premium. So you've got your $164.90 for the Part B, and anywhere between $75 to $150, depending on what plan you choose, your location, and for some of them, your marital status, or if you are living with someone. The costs of Medicare supplements vary a lot between companies, between areas. So what your friend that lives 2 states over is paying could very well be a lot different than what you would pay in your location. Now, one of the biggest benefits with a Medicare supplement plan is there are no networks. Any doctor, anywhere in the United States that accepts Medicare, period. It doesn't matter what company you're with. It doesn't matter what plan you have. There are no networks. Anything medically necessary is covered with any doctor, any facility in the United States that accepts Medicare. I'm going to repeat this because I get it all the time from people. Well, I'll have to call my doctor and see if they take this plan. If the doctor accepts Medicare, then your supplement will pay its portion of the bill. Doesn't matter what company you're with. All that matters is that your doctor accepts Medicare. Your provider will bill Medicare. Medicare will pay its part and then forward the billing on to your Medicare Supplement, who must pay according to the plan that you have. So now let's take a look at Medicare Advantage plans. I'm sure you've seen this guy on TV. Several of retired actors are doing the commercials as well. They are talking about Medicare Advantage plans. When they're talking about all these little benefits, dental, meals, money back, all of those are parts of Medicare Advantage plans, but they're not always a part of a Medicare Advantage plan. For instance, for the Part B give back, there's a few states that have it. There's a lot of states where you have to be on Medicaid for it. The dental coverage varies. The ride shares, the food, all of that varies by your location, and a lot of it has to do if you're receiving Medicaid or not. Now, they used to call Medicare Advantage plans replacement plans, but CMS doesn't like that term anymore, so that's not something we should be using. They called them replacement plans because if you go with an Advantage plan, what you're doing is you're signing up with an insurance company who is getting paid by Medicare to provide your benefits for your Part A and B services. So you don't technically lose Part A and B, but you will now fall under the rules and mandates of that insurance company's policy. The government has passed that over, and you have signed up for that plan. Each plan has different copays, deductibles, networks. They are all different. So again, the one that Cousin Sally's on in California is not going to be the same plan available for you living in North Carolina. They vary greatly by location. Now, with a Medicare Advantage plan, you're going to have higher out-of-pocket costs when you use it. For instance, when you go to the doctor or you go to the hospital. Each Medicare Advantage plan has different copays, like I mentioned, and you're going to pay a copay for basically everything you do until you reach the maximum out-of-pocket. Now, depending on what zip code you live in, most out-of-pocket maximums for the plans are between $0 and $6,000 for the year. Once you hit that maximum out-of-pocket, you will be covered 100%. That 100% coverage does not include your drug coverage. That is medical coverage only. So with an Advantage plan, the coverage does leave more exposure when you use it, but your premiums are going to be much lower. Many times it's $0 premium per month or $20, $30 per month, depending again on which plan and your area. And the reason they can do it for this low a premium is because they are being paid by the government to provide this service. So you're not paying the premium, the government. Now, with a Medicare Advantage plan, you will need or want to be seeing doctors and hospitals that are in network with your plan. Because even with a PPO, you're going to pay higher copays, usually double of what it would be from out of network to in network. Now, some areas have very strong networks. I mean, you can go to 15 different places and they're all in network. Others may have a hospital that's an hour away, be the only one in network. So if you're looking at a Medicare Advantage plan, this is something we really want to look at. We want to look at which doctors and hospitals are in network for your area. It's very important. If you're on an HMO plan and you go out of network, you will pay it entirely out of pocket. On a PPO and you're out of network, you will normally pay double of what you would inside a network. That can be a real problem for people in certain locations. It just depends on your situation, and if this is the direction you want to go, I can definitely help you look at that. Now, some downsides that you need to understand is that with a Medicare Advantage plan, you also need referrals and prior authorizations. The prior authorizations for surgeries or procedures is by far the worst aspect of these types of plans. In fact, if it wasn't for the prior authorizations, I would be a bigger fan of the Medicare Advantage plan. They're very close to the group plans that a lot of people are on today. But with the prior authorizations, I've seen people get turned down 2-3 times for physical therapy. I've seen them get turned down for having a knee replaced and having to go through 9 months of therapy. It is a huge problem, and the government knows it's a problem. They're looking into it now. What they're going to do about it, I have no idea. So I want you to understand, it is not uncommon for a procedure to be denied, and then you will have to resubmit it or appeal the decision. Lastly, with a Medicare Advantage plan, the drug plan is usually included with the medical, which means you don't have to pay a separate premium for a drug plan. Now, sometimes this works out very well, sometimes not so much. It depends on the plan you take, but you will not have a choice to have a separate Part D like you do with a Medicare supplement. So here's a look at the way the coverage would be. With the Medicare Supplement plan, you're going to have original Medicare, Part A and Part B, and you will add to it a Medicare Supplement and a separate Part D drug plan. You will have a premium for your Part B, your Medicare Supplement plan, and your Part D. Now, if you go with the Medicare Advantage plan, Part C it's also called, the Medicare Advantage plan combines both Part A and B and normally Part D. So you're going to have a lower monthly premium, but again, like I discussed in the coverage, it's vastly different than the coverage you would have for a Medicare Supplement plan. With a Medicare Supplement, you are paying a higher premium, but you have coverage that is most likely better than you've ever had or had in a very long time. There's no referrals, there's no prior authorizations, and the freedom to go to any doctor anywhere in the United States that accepts Medicare. Also, you're going to get one shot to go into a Medicare Supplement plan with no underwriting. They can't ask you any health questions. You could be laying in the hospital scheduled for brain surgery the next day, and they could not turn you down during your open enrollment. I recommend that most of my clients that are retiring or starting Medicare for the first time to at least take a look at Medicare Supplement coverage. If you can't afford it or you have other reasons, I fully understand, but at least take a hard look at it. If you're the type of person that doesn't like surprises, you'll be traveling, or you want to be sure your medical cost will look like each month, and you want the freedom to see any doctor, Medicare Supplement's probably the path for you. You'll have a little higher you're going to pay each month, but you will have very little out-of-pocket costs that will come up if you have a health issue. Well, keep in mind, if you're thinking, I'm healthy now, I'll go on an Advantage plan, then when something happens, I'll go on to a supplement, that's not going to happen. Once you're outside of your open enrollment, in most cases, you are going to have to go through underwriting. You're going to have to answer health questions, and they're going to look at your health history and your prescription history, and they can turn you down. Now, I hear it all the time. I'm healthy now. I don't want to pay for a supplement because I'll never use it. That's not how insurance works. You don't put insurance on your car hoping somebody totals it so you get to use it. You don't put insurance on your house hoping a tree falls through it so you get to use it. Insurance is there in case something happens that it limits your exposure to out-of-pocket cost. Now, with an Advantage plan, if you're the type of person that needs or wants lower monthly premiums, and you're okay with the fact that if something happens, you'll pay some co-pays, co-insurance, then an Advantage plan might be the option for you. But it's incredibly important that if you are going to go with a Medicare Advantage plan, that we discuss which plans are available in your area and take a look at what the network is. So that's a brief overview of a Medicare Supplement plan versus a Medicare Advantage plan. It's impossible for me to go over every little difference between the two because the plans vary so much on the Advantage side by location and county. So I know it does lean a little bit like I prefer a Medicare Supplement, and I do think a Medicare Supplement is better coverage. Again, one of the main reasons is because of the prior authorizations. But if it's the right plan for you, I have no way of knowing until we have a discussion. There's a link down in the description. Click on it, grab a date and time. It will go right to my calendar. we'll go over all the details of the Medicare Supplement plans and the Medicare Advantage plans. I'll explain the Plan G and the Plan N. Again, there's a link to those videos up here. And we'll see which plan fits your needs, your lifestyle, and your budget. Click the link down in the description, set your appointment, and we'll see which plan fits you the best. Thank you for watching my video. And if you prefer to call in, the number is 844-528-8688. You have a wonderful day.